the earthquake in Morocco that shattered thousands of lives. Unveiling the untold story of Morocco's 2023 earthquake, a seismic event that shook lives and structures to their cores. Morocco trembled as a powerful earthquake struck. Beyond the surface, this narrative unfolds, revealing the quake's impact on remote mountain villages, historic districts, and the urgent call for collective action. What were the key factors that contributed to the occurrence of the earthquake in Monaco on September 8, 2023? On a fateful day, September 8, 2023, a powerful earthquake rocked the town of Madin in Morocco. This quake, known as the Marrakesh Safi earthquake, was a natural disaster. It was like the earth itself was mad. The magnitude 6.8 earthquake struck at 11:11 p.m. local time. Its epicenter was located about 45 miles southwest of Marrakesh in Morocco's Al Houz province. What's interesting is that the earthquake was shallow. It happened just 11.2 miles below the Earth's surface. When earthquakes are shallow like this, they can feel even more assertive on the ground. After the main earthquake, there was a smaller one with a magnitude of 4.9 about 20 minutes later. According to the United States Geological Survey, it produced more vigorous shaking at the surface than had it been deeper. Now let's talk about why this earthquake happened. Morocco is where two big pieces of the Earth's crust meet. These pieces are like giant pieces of a puzzle. Usually the African plate moves towards the north, but in the area where this earthquake occurred, it is going in different directions. All this movement creates stress, like when you push your hands together. Eventually, that stress builds up so much that it's released suddenly, causing an earthquake. It's like snapping your fingers, but way bigger. This earthquake happened because one side of a crack in the Earth's crust was pushed upward compared to the other side. That upward movement could have been as much as 5.6 feet along a 19-mile stretch. That's like lifting a whole person off of the ground. So this earthquake was the result of some complex movements deep within the Earth's crust, and it made the ground shake in Morocco that night. How did the earthquake impact rural mountain villages and the historic Medina district in Morocco's Al Houz province? Behold the tumultuous aftermath of nature's fury, where the earth trembled in Morocco's remote Al Houz province. In these hidden mountain sanctuaries, dwellings shaped from the resilient embrace of bricks and stones hungered for unwavering fortitude. Yet amidst this rugged greatness, the laws that govern construction played an inconsistent game. Following the rules is like a fierce dance that we observe only briefly during moments of compliance. One town called Amismis was battered. It's in the mountains about 20 miles from where the earthquake started. Much of this town was destroyed. Rescue teams worried that as many as 2,000 people might have died because buildings fell on them. Some smaller villages also suffered greatly. There is a place not far from Amismis where the earthquake killed more than 90 people, and almost all of the village's 100 houses were turned into piles of rubble. In Marrakesh, most buildings were built to modern standards and had minor damage. But in the older part of the city they call the Medina district, some walls and old structures that have been around since the 11th century suffered either the cruel embrace of devastation or the tragic descent into ruin. How did the earthquake impact the ability of rescue teams to reach remote villages, and what challenges did the Moroccan government face in coordinating international aid efforts? The earthquake's ferocity struck most savagely amidst the remote and unforgiving terrain of Al Houz province, nestled within its challenging hills and valleys. The roads and highways, which were already quite risky, became even more troubled because of the earthquake. Enormous boulders and the remnants of landslides were created by the stormy weather. Tremors laid siege upon the roads, their formidable barricades a formidable adversary for the brave rescue teams, emergency responders, and the huge machinery all striving to breach the thresholds of those in dire need. Imagine this. Even 5 days after the earthquake, some people in remote villages still hadn't gotten the help they needed. They needed tents, food, and water, but they still needed to reach them. After the earthquake, people were unhappy with how the Moroccan government handled things. They thought the government needed to do more to bring in help and rescue teams. Some people were still trapped in collapsed buildings, and their families were getting worried. The government also made some decisions about where help would come from. They allowed teams from Spain, Qatar, Britain, and the United Arab Emirates to go and help, but they said no to teams from other countries like France, Germany, Tunisia, Canada, and the United States. They said this was because they wanted to avoid too much traffic on already messed up roads. Later, the government said they were open to all help, but it needed to come through the proper channels to organize everything properly. The Morocco earthquake revealed the importance of preparedness and international solidarity in the face of natural disasters. To stay informed and engaged in global issues, please share this information and subscribe to our channel for more updates on critical events and ways to make a positive impact on our world.